people. How are you doing? Welcome to today's program. We call this the Breaking the Language Barriers. And today we are looking at the Zambian edition, obviously one of many to come. I'm your host, Simon Drastic Chirwa, and I have my co-host with me.
Sylvester Kane. I'm
All right,
excited.
so this is very, very exciting, like breaking the language barriers. So we're gonna look at different languages, of course, but today's program is specifically meant to look at the Zambian context, and in this case, we're looking at tribalism in Zambia and how we can break that using language as a
Yeah,
tool. Because
like Simon, there, over 72 languages in Zambia. But
yeah,
before we start talking about Zambia, why did you have this vision? Why are we here?
okay, so speaking about it in terms of like the Zambian context. There's always been this issue of this tribe is better than this tribe, or this language might seem like it's more superior than the other, or just because a lot of people are speaking this particular language, then it's a better language than the other language. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, we have this very big what do I call it? Slogan, national slogan.
Which one?
One Zambia, one nation.
You just have to sing that one now.
Yeah, you know. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. That's that one. So
Yeah.
this whole one Zambia, one nation entails that we're supposed to be united as a country.
Mm-hmm.
And just because most of these languages might not necessarily be the same. Of course, there are a lot of dialects. That's the reason why we have all these different languages. But just because they might not be the same, doesn't mean we cannot find a way to communicate. And obviously, we're going to talk a little more about that. But the vision is just to try and find a way in which we can unite, make sure like people who are having problems, unnecessary problems, like my tribe is better than yours, should rethink or what their stance is based on that, because we just want to be like in a country where everybody is like happy together, see each other, say hi, stuff.
That's true. I do know that by the end of the show, you do have some interesting words and phrases. It's like I have to go back to my Lozi dictionary or Nyanja
Oh
dictionary
yeah,
to
oh
see.
yeah. I am very
But I'm
very
just excited, and I'm
yeah.
I'm actually thank you for your vision. I think it's going to be an interesting show, and it's actually going to bring a lot of people on the show to
Yeah.
talk about languages in Zambia and later on worldwide. So I'm excited.
That's very true. But I think first things first, if we're speaking Zambian edition, we might as well start with some greetings. Why
Oh,
not? I mean, like, why not?
oh boy. Okay.
I'll go with the first part of the greeting, then you can respond. So
Okay.
technically, what we're doing now is just like me saying something in a language that I understand, because I don't speak all the languages, and obviously we're gonna give like a brief history, not necessarily like a big brief background, but right now I just want to say, Udishani.
Hande. That's my default, Lozi.
Oh, Lord.
Or Bueno. Or
Bueno.
I think, yeah, my Bemba is terrible. I'm sure a lot of Bembas are going to laugh at me, but I think it's Nidiwino. I almost
Eh,
sound Tonga.
Nidi Bueno.
And I think Cabo too.
Kawotu.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, that's like you speaking a lot of different languages, right? So I would probably say Udi Udi. That's Tumbuka right now.
Ah,
And I don't know if you would know how to respond to that though.
Woolly Woolly. Whoa.
Uli
But
Uli.
Woolly
Uli
Woolly. Okay.
Uli. Uli Uli. It's like, a lot of people that I've told, even like in different places or in different countries and stuff like that, if you try to tell them like, oh, this is how we greet. We say Uli Uli. Everyone goes like Uli Uli.
Okay.
You know? So Uli Uli, and then the response is just Makola. You know?
Makola. Oh, yes. Yes. Now I remember. Yes, I've heard Makola before. Yes.
Yeah. And then there's Uli Bwanji.
I said Bueno.
Bueno. Yeah, but you
Eh,
answered it. You answered it from the Bemba when they said Udishan. Then you said Bueno.
oh man.
So
Needing
so so
needing
for the
Bueno. But in high school, people laugh at me because and that's another thing in Zambia. When someone is trying to learn a language, let's not laugh at the accent. Let's
Yeah.
actually be happy that they tried.
I feel that's one of the biggest problems that we have in Zambia because constantly, when people are trying, there's a lot of people trying to pull them down, based on the fact that, oh, you did not pronounce this word properly. Oh, it's not pronounce, it's pronunciation. It's what it is all this lingual, I don't know, for lack of a better term, lingual war, where a lot of people have now started saying, oh, um, uh, like English is not the measure of intelligence, which is true if you think about it. Of course, it's like a language that we're using to communicate with, but it's not
Yeah.
shouldn't be the measure. Anyway, so can just a little bit about the languages in Zambia.
Well, to be honest, I have to go back to my social studies because
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
so long. But I do know that there's seven official languages, right? You have the
Okay.
Losis in Western Province, you have the Tongas in Southern.
Mhm.
What the I had to. I have to quickly write this down. So,
Okay.
the Tongas and Losis, some Losis, of course, in Southern Province, Kaondes, Luvale, Lunda, Northwestern Province, Nyanja. And Nyanja, when you say Nyanja, I don't even think Nyanja is actually an official language, but um, Nyanja has a bit of, I think, Chichewa, Zulus. It's like a
Yeah,
mixture.
it's one of those languages, right? That's like, yeah,
Yeah, and I hope my history teacher is not listening to this. I hope I didn't get anything wrong, but I'm
yeah.
going
But
with what people say.
honestly speaking, like for instance, like I can speak Bemba, right? But the Bemba I speak is the one from the Copper Belt, right?
Mhm.
And the one from the Copper Belt is not in any way okay. It's of course I can understand someone from Luapula and northern province, for instance, right?
Okay.
But the way
But
they speak their Bemba,
sorry
yeah,
to cut you short. Before
yeah.
the Bembas kill me, I forgot to talk about the Bembas in Northern Province, Mapula, and where else?
Yeah, they'll be on you. Like, hey, why did you
Copper
not?
Belt.
Yeah, Copper Belt. Yeah, definitely Copper Belt. So Copper Belt speaks a lot of Bemba. And then there's yeah, like you said, of course there's like Bemba in Wapula and then Northern Province. But the kind of the Bemba that they speak, that's where the issue of dialect comes in, you know? Of
Okay.
course it's like the same, it's pretty much the same language, but they're different dialects. And that's the reason why you hear like people saying, oh, wow, is she or something like that, where there's that really deep Bemba that you will not really get everything when they speak and stuff like that.
Interesting. Okay. So now let's go to the fun part, the phrases.
Oh yeah, phrases. Yeah, that's true. The phrases. And you know what? The other thing is that somebody might be wondering, like, oh, we're talking about languages in Zambia, yet we are speaking English. Like, what's up with that?
Good point.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
what's up with that? What's up with that, Sibessa?
Well,
What do you think?
Zambia is the official language is English, and in fact, when I first moved to Canada, a lot of people would ask to say, "Did you learn English here?
Yeah,
How come you speak so well?" And I'll be like,
yeah,
"No, no, English. You have to start learning English from what preschool."
yeah.
So English is the official language of Zambia.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense right now. Bantu hapa tufike kulalanda vechivemba tulife bize fia shani bakamba shani, that kind of stuff. But if you and I were to communicate right now,
Mhm.
using local languages, how would that be? Because I would speak to you in Bemba.
And I would respond in Nyanja or Lozi.
But if we were to try to reverse the roles, if I try to speak Nyanja, would you try to speak Bemba?
Like as I said earlier on, I can try, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a kick at it. It's going to be a
Yeah.
funny
So, yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, that's what brings us now to like one very important aspect of this whole thing, where I mean, we don't want to be very political or per se, but one of the times that this whole issue of tribalism comes in is when we come to deal with politics. how does that make you feel as a person? Like, just this is like your opinion, and just how do you feel about that when you hear like there's a group of people that are fighting because they don't want a leader from their political party who happens to be from a different tribe to stand or to ever be a president or any things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so as you said earlier on, we're not getting into politics,
Yeah.
but it's so funny how we're so quick to jump at Black Lives Matter, right? Let's
Yeah.
start with home. Let's start with home. We have different languages. Let's treat each other the same way. I'm Lozi. I should be able to relate to my Bemba brother, sister,
Or
Tonga brother,
Buka,
sister.
like we're doing right now.
Exactly, exactly. Because I mean, this world, we need love. And if someone has the points, if someone has a vision, I want a leader who has a vision. I want a leader who's going to take me from point A to point B. I know right now I'm not in Zambia, but I would think my relatives back home, that's what they want, right? Whether the person speaks Tumbuka,
Yeah.
yeah. The language, well, we have an official language, which is Lozi, but the goals are the same, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's true. That's very true. So, I mean, the reason why we have these languages are just kind of like represented different places because it's a lot of different tribes and all that stuff. But if that wasn't the case, like this wouldn't be an issue. But we are in a place where like we have all these Bantu speaking languages and all that stuff. So we have to accept that first, and then, like you said, vision. If somebody has a vision, you've seen them work, or even if you haven't seen them work, but they give you what the vision is, you have to judge them based on the information they give you at that particular point, as opposed to looking at it from a point where you feel like, oh, because you were born of this tribe, you cannot do A, B, C, D, which is a like a very bad stereotype, if you ask me.
Exactly. Let's start saying all languages matter in
Yeah.
Zambia. Yeah.
It's true, and that point where you said, "Oh, we're always quick to jump onto other things that are affecting the rest of the world." It's good to do that, right? But we also have our own very much bigger issues that we should also focus on. Just like like, can we like deal with this first,
Yeah.
and then like of course, like it's very important to look at every other place, but we also need to remember. I feel like the Zambians sometimes they forget their own problems and are quick to do things for people outside just so they continue looking good.
Yeah,
You
no,
understand?
yeah, no, that's true. And here's an example. So, Canada, one of the things they talk about that they're proud of is diversity. There's some people in the ministers that have their background is maybe Indian background, African background, right? If Canadians would say no, we only want Canadians, then that would be, it's terrible. If someone has a future, they have a goal for the country. So likewise, in Zambia, if someone is Bemba, they're Tumbuka, they're Tonga, Lozi, whatever language, if someone, what's important is how's the economy? Where is this person taking us?
Mm.
Where is this person taking our generation? So, yeah. But I think enough of the politics. Let's talk about the fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So
I need
this
to lose
is
my hair.
yeah, So I don't know what we're gonna call this segment, but all I can say is that this is a very awesome segment where we have these like English phrases, and we want to see if we could say them in any of the local languages that we can understand, or the local languages that we would want to try, because we're assuming I would meet somebody on the street, right? And
Mhm.
that person wouldn't be speaking the same language as me. So how do I communicate with this person if they don't understand the official language, the English language? So
Right,
if I came across some English word which I understand but you don't understand, I would have to say it in a language that you would understand.
right.
And if I speak Bemba and you speak Nyanja, I would have to try and say it in Nyanja, which I'm not really good at.
Well, I have to drink water to that. It's
Yeah,
hard.
true, true. I think so. That's a really good idea. But anyway, so we're gonna start. We'll try to start very easy.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one is Next year I'll vote. Oh, I'll vote next year.
Yo, what
I'll vote
is
next year.
it? Huh. My
Or next
lord,
year.
right.
Oh,
I'll
I'll
what?
vote next.
So how would you say that in Bemba first?
Uh,
You know how to say it in Bemba?
umwaka oleisa nkavota.
Ah,
Umwaka
so
oleisa
then
nkavota.
in
I'll
Lozi,
vote umwaka
silimo,
oleisa.
okay,
Hmm.
silimo sesitaha nikavota. And I remember my mom always says in Lozi there's no V. It's B,
Mm.
vota, or something like that.
Oh,
So
bota, bota.
yes. Silimo
Could you say that
sesitaha,
again?
silimo sesitaha nikovota.
Silimosesitaha.
Yes. And remember, for everyone watching this, please do not laugh at our accents. What's
That's true.
important is the message.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And what if we try to say it in Nyanja? Next year, I'll vote.
Hmm. I just know Nizavota. But next year,
Nizavota.
what's next year? Nizavota.
Chaka Chibuela Nizavota.
Ah, okay.
Is it?
Teamwork. I think
I
so.
don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
I
I
feel
think
like Chaka is like yeah, right?
I think so.
Chaka. Or maybe it's Tumbuka. You see this, but the idea is that you'd still understand when I say that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to something else. Let's see. What
Okay.
do we have? This one is a bit tricky. Oh no, okay, maybe not. Maybe I should wait and for this one just a little bit. There's always
No,
been
even
this little
the lamp of Shima got stuck on my throat.
okay.
How would
The
the
lamp
tongue
of
say
Shima
that?
got stuck on my throat.
Yeah.
Let's try and say it in Bemba.
Okay. How do you say that in Bemba?
I could try. Umkusu wa bwali,
Uh-huh.
bwali patapa mkolomino.
Hey.
Umkusu wa bwali patapa mkolomino. Pamkosh.
Ah, yes, I know.
Mkolomino is the throat.
Ah, okay.
Umkusu wa
So, uh-huh.
wali patapa mkolomino. That's
Okay.
them.
Ah, okay. So Wali in Lozi, it's Buhove.
Ohobe.
Yes. And
Okay.
then Lamp is Sikoto.
Mm.
And then the throat is Mumizo. Yeah. So I would say Sikoto Sabu Hove Nesini Sweti Fa Mumizo. Ah, is that Spanish?
Kind of sounded like Spanish, eh?
You're like, so
I'm
you know,
like,
if there are Tongas out there, please put it in the comments section. I would like to hear what's
yeah, me too. I'll be very, very excited to hear what they would have to say. And then, what about Inyanja though?
Nsima.
Is it Nsima?
Nsima is yes.
Nsima is the
Nsima
same as
is
in Tumbuka as well. Nsima.
oh okay.
Nsima inap. Nsima. I don't know what you call the lamp, but I'll
I
just say
know.
like Nsima inapata pamkosi.
Inapata, yes.
Inapata
Pamukosi.
Okay, inapata pamkosi.
Yes.
Pamkosi.
Yeah, no, wow. That's
Pamkosi.
interesting, eh? Okay. So the next one is which one?
Nsima chikulu chinapata pamkosi. Okay.
Chikulu. Chikulu is like big.
Okay, chilamp. Okay.
What if the lamp is small?
Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess so. True. Okay, so the next one. How about this should be interesting. You are not the sharpest tool in the shed. We can try direct translation. Honestly.
To be honest. That would be a 0 out of 10 right there.
Yeah.
Whoa. I know because sharpest in Lozi is Kutalifa. Yeah. No, I'll pass on that. Sorry, I'll pass on.
Okay.
Not even
So how would you communicate that to me? Okay, but like how would you explain the meaning of it though in Lozi? Like talk to me in Lozi explaining this phrase to me. Like, okay, but what
Iwe
this
sindi
phrase
owo
means.
chenjera.
Sindi wochenjera.
Iwe.
Iwe sindi wochenjera maningi.
Sindi owo chenjera. Yeah. Or if it's someone, you can't even say, because of respect in Zambia, you can't even say that to an elder person. It's like an insult. You can't even say imwe because an elderly person is imwe, right? Elderly person is imwe, right?
Iwe.
Iwe. Sorry?
In other words, in Bemba, I would probably say Yota Wakwata man.
Yeah, yes.
How would you say I'm going to bath? I'm going to take a bath. Or I'm going to bath. I'm going to take a bath.
I'm going to I think that's an easy one. Miyako kutapa.
Okay. Ndea kusamba. Naruta
Niendo
mkugeza. Kumbuka.
Niendo geza. Niendo samba.
Like I'm going, it's like Naruta mkugeza. Naruta. But in Nyanja, it's like Niendo samba. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Ndea mkusamba baba. That's in Bemba. Ndea mkusamba. Yeah, so that one was easy. Okay, so one Zambia, one nation.
Ooh, one Zambia, one nation. I don't think there's one Zambia, one nation because Naha Ilimu, like one world. So I think that's what they would say in Lozi.
Yeah. Chalo cha Zambia.
Chalo Chimozi.
Chala Chimozi. Chimozi, one Zambia. You'd probably say it the opposite, like Zambia ni Mozi. One nation. Think Mozi. I don't know.
Interesting.
That would be nice. Like I'll be very happy to see someone like just put in the comment section and say, okay, this is how you say one Zambia, one nation in this language, and this is how you say one Zambia, one nation in another language, and different stuff like that.
Okay. And I do know that you have some Bemba phrases to tell us, so please share.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So some phrases that I've heard in Bemba is one of them says John Solio Wali. Like you are just the John Solio Wali, you know? Like I would want to see somebody try to explain this to me. What does it really mean when you say John Solio Wali? But from the way I understand it, it's like this is probably someone who's just like a dependent who doesn't want to work hard to make their own money. So they're constantly just waiting for someone to tell them, "Oh, time to eat, time to do this, time to do that, and time all that stuff." That kind of stuff. And then there's another one that says "Chimbwi afwiden tanganana," something like that. Would you have an idea what that would mean?
I know it's Chimbwi. Yo, I know. I know it's Chimbwi. I just know it's Chimbwi no plan, but.
Chimbwi no plan. What does Chimbwi no plan mean?
Chimbwi no plan. It's like a hyena without a plan. Like when you're just instead of doing something, you're just sitting, right? Or or usually they'll say that when a weekend is coming up in Zambia and you have no plans, you're just home, you're bored, so you're like, Chimbwi no plan this weekend.
Chimbwi no plan. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, Chimbwi afwide one tangan afwide ntanganana or something like that.
That's deep. That's
it
deep.
Means like where there's a hyena, right? He's got all fours. All fours, like the limbs. Is that what you call them? The legs?
Yes.
Right? All fours. And then he sees like maybe they say there are 4 lions, or maybe like there's food in all 4 directions, and they don't know which way to go. So they find themselves like lying like that because they want to go to this way, they want to go that way, they want to go behind, that kind of stuff. I think that's what it means. I'm just assuming that's how I understand it.
Okay.
And then probably one more is like ichikaripa chumfomwine.
What's that?
Ichikaripa chumfomwine.
What does that mean?
It's like sometimes someone will come to you with a problem and they'll be telling you, I'm not well, or this is hurting. Or for instance, maybe a little one in your house will come and say, oh, I have pain in my leg. And then you as the older person will be like, I know my daughter, you're not having any pain. You're faking it and all that stuff.
Mm.
It's like the pain that one feels, like the pain experienced by somebody is just really felt by that particular person. You cannot really assume that they do not feel how they're telling you they feel, or something like that, I think.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. No, for the next episode, I would like to share some Lozi, maybe even Nyanja phrases, and hopefully from our viewers, we're going to have some phrases that they would like to share.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. And I think for now, we're just gonna end here because we're gonna probably have another episode in this where we can just fully speak in the local language and see how that's gonna turn out.
Yeah, and hey, if you're watching this right now and you'd like to have another kick at our accents, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Seso Kende or Simon Drastic Chira.